the so-called dreamers. In addition, he will announce a plan to allow migrants from Nicaragua, Cuba, and Haiti with U.S.-based financial sponsors to enter the country legally through a program modeled after policies for displaced Ukrainians and Venezuelans. But it would be paired with a deterrence measure, so migrants from those countries would face immediate expulsion to Mexico if they cross the border illegally. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Pope Francis led Pope Benedict's funeral at the Vatican this morning, where as many as 100,000 people gathered to pay their respects. The former pontiff's body was later buried inside the basilica in the Vatican crypt. The U.S. is now preparing to send in more firepower as the war intensifies in Ukraine. CBS's Kimmy McCormick.
President Biden has confirmed the U.S. is considering sending Bradley fighting vehicles to Ukraine. France is sending in armored combat vehicles. Ukraine has been seeking Abrams tanks from the U.S. to push back Russian forces in the eastern regions. The fighting there has been described as commanders on both sides.
South Carolina's highest court will hear arguments today over the state's death penalty. CBS's Jim Krasula reports.
The South Carolina Supreme Court will consider whether a newly organized firing squad or the electric chair are legal ways to execute inmates in the state. The court will hear an appeal of a lower court ruling that executions by the two methods cause excessive pain and are cruel and unusual punishment.
The Justice Department says the Postal Service is legally allowed to deliver prescription abortion drugs, even in states that have banned the procedure. That decision expanded access to the pill this week by mail and at more pharmacies nationwide. This is CBS News.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in the term life industry. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month. Level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Termbusters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for a new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote. 800-786-9. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-786-9161. Remember, 1-800-786-9161. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
You hear the phrase a lot this time of year. Happy holidays. But happy, particularly for guys grappling with a divorce that they didn't choose. These men need more than the help of a good lawyer. They need the hope and encouragement of a good friend.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office, Ann Arbor.
Make a New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Help protect your identity and finances with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. LifeLock detects identity threats you may miss on your own. And if you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But LifeLock is easy to help protect yourself. Join now and save up to 25% off your first year. Go to LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is News.
Cloudy skies, 35 degrees at 9:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Birchup. A Midland man was arrested after allegedly leading police on a brief chase before punching a police officer New Year's Eve. According to the Midland Police Department, an officer attempted to pull over a vehicle without plates that was driven by 63-year-old Herbert. The officer pursued the vehicle for a short time before terminating the chase for the safety of the public. Police say that later the officer found the van in the parking lot of Frick's Bar on Saginaw Road. The officer approached and found Benedetti inside and ordered him out. Benedetti allegedly refused and began searching for something inside. Police say the officer got in and grabbed him when the suspect punched the officer in the face. The two then fell to the ground in the parking lot where Benedetti allegedly punched the officer again. Bystanders moved in to help restrain the man until backup arrived. Both the officer and the suspect were treated for minor injuries. Benedetti was taken to the Midland County Jail on charges of fleeing and eluding police and resisting an officer causing injury. January is known as Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and the Michigan State Police are promoting what's known as the Blue Campaign. They're working alongside the Department of Homeland Security to raise awareness, support survivors, and investigate potential trafficking situations to bring traffickers to justice. According to DHS, some indications of trafficking are disconnection from family, friends, and community, sudden dramatic in behavior, signs of disorientation, and appearing fearful, submissive, or timid. Physical signs include bruises, signs of starvation, or sleep deprivation. To report suspected trafficking or to get help, text 233-733 or call 888-373-7888. WSGW News Time 9:07.
The Bay City Noon Optimist Club's 30th annual Travel and Adventure Film Series continues Monday, January 9th at 7 p.m. at the State Theater in downtown City. Join us as Marlon Dara leads us on a tour across southern England, from the White Cliffs of Dover to Canterbury, Brighton, Portsmouth, and through the villages, pubs, and churches of the Cotswolds to the fascinating Stonehenge. Then on to the great city of London with all its variety, culture, and history, Oxford, Cambridge, and the Lake District, in this beautiful program about a country that always has had a special place in the heart of America. Season tickets are available in advance at Herder Music or the State Theater for $18 and include India on the Edge of Discovery on March 20th, 2023. Individual show tickets are $10. Series sponsored by ABS Retirement Planning Advisors, Paramount Rehabilitation, and Summit Printing and Graphics. Show underwritten by Great Lakes Federal Credit Union. Theater sponsored by Prime Brothers Furniture.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast is next. State Attorney General Dana Nessel is conducting an extensive review into the actions of the Ottawa County Commission. This comes after the board fired the county administrator and installed John Gibbs in his place. Some residents are questioning those moves. Resident and Grand Valley State professor Amy Masco says they've changed the tagline from Ottawa County, "Where You Belong," to "Let Freedom Ring." She says they've sent a very strong message that not everyone belongs there. Stephen Taimling says a lot of things have frustrated people through COVID, and they're looking for new blood who are going to make significant change. The computer chip shortage has put a dent into 2022 car sales numbers. Here's Autobit reporter Jeff Gilbert.
Total sales are expected to come in around 14 million. That's far from the pre-pandemic 17 million sales rates. Still, some car makers bounced back. GM sales were up 2.5%. That was enough to push GM past Toyota to regain its crown as the nation's top-selling car company.
Gilbert says Ford's F-Series pickup truck was again the top-selling vehicle overall. Opposition is growing to the proposed expansion at Camp Grayling in northern Michigan. Now you can add the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy to the list. Eagle has sent a letter to the Michigan Army National Guard raising concerns about current PFAS cleanup efforts in the region, saying those investigations are completed before any proposal goes through. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Cloudy for today, rain in the area becoming mixed with then changing to snow at some point during the afternoon. Temperatures hold steady for the most part across the region. Winds southwesterly 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, chance for more snow before midnight. Otherwise, it remains cloudy. Lows drop to 30. Winds west-southwest around 5 miles per hour. Friday, mostly cloudy. Highs top out near 37. Winds west 5 to 10. Friday night, gradual clearing. Lows fall back to 28. Then highs reach 35 on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Phil Jenska with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 34.
Now, The only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning to you on a Thursday morning, and indeed our program sponsored by our good friends at Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Stop in and find all the products you need for your home decorating at Westside Decorating Center. This morning, later on after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to talk about employers and how they're fighting inflation, yet at the same time supporting employees. We'll have a special guest. At 11 o'clock on Focus, we're going to look at Rocket Grab Plus. This hour is an open hour. Whatever you'd like to chat about, 989-752-6111. Got a number of things to bring up this morning, and we will start the thing that is in the top of the news. And by top, I mean you almost can't listen to any newscast, watch a newscast, read anything without hearing about the conflict in Congress, trying to elect a House Speaker. And Representative Kevin McCarthy, it would seem to me, just as an observer, is going to have to get off the dime and step aside, because it appears, and of course everything's subject to change, but it appears there's no way that he's going to get the 218 votes out of his own caucus that he needs to become Speaker. And until a Speaker is elected, nothing else can happen. So they have to get off the dime here at some point in time, because whatever the Republican agenda will be for this year can't happen. All those investigations we hear about can't happen. Funding the government, passing everyday legislation that we need as a country to operate, can't happen. Now, some would say, okay, that's fine. Congress isn't doing anything. Maybe we're better off. The reality is we need Congress. And there are apparently, there's chatter, but it's all unconfirmed, that an idea has been bouncing around on Capitol Hill that the Republicans may sit down and talk with some Democrats, enough Democrats to push him over the top. But then the question becomes, what do they have to give the Democrats to get their votes? In the same way that McCarthy has had to appease the 20 far-right caucus members that are literally blocking his nomination, his election to Speaker, and will continue to do so. I mean, there's nothing that says they're going to change their minds. He already gave them a lot, and it wasn't enough. Every time he gives, they come back with another list of 30 some odd demands. So I think that the time has come for the good of the country for McCarthy to step aside and someone else come forward who can appeal to all of them. I don't see that happening right away, but it needs to happen. Because if they strike a deal with the Democrats, they're going to have to give a bunch. And remember, they won the majority. The Republicans won the majority in the House. Not a big one. It's not the wave everybody was looking for. But still, they have the majority. And if they have to deal with the Democrats to get enough votes to elect a speaker, what are they going to have to give? More power on the committees? Probably. Guarantees on raising the debt ceiling? Probably. So they're going to have to, do a little soul searching. To me, the answer is to find someone else in the Republican Party that can appeal to everyone and get about the business that needs to be done. I mean, this is not a good time for Republicans. They hold a majority in the House, yet they can't seem to get beyond themselves. Not a good time for Trump either. Trump has urged the group of 20 to support McCarthy, and they so far have totally ignored him. So it would appear that that Trump's power in the Republican Party, particularly in the wing that favors him, is waning. And at the same time, he's fighting all kinds of legal ramifications in both his governmental and private life. So this is an interesting time right now. The party who comes to power in the majority in the House can't seem to get their act together. And the Democrats don't have to do anything. They can just sit back and lick their chops, wring their hands, because they don't have to do a thing. Republicans are doing it to themselves. And in the meantime, absolutely nothing gets done. Legislatively, investigatively, you name it. You know, you heard about all those investigations the Republicans want to do. They want to look at Hunter Biden's laptop. They want to look at Joe Biden's influence with his son. They want to look at the DOJ. They want to look at all kinds of things. They want to investigate this, that, and the other thing. They can't do any of it. Can't do a thing because they can't get their act together to elect a speaker. 6 votes now, and he's actually lost ground. He started out down 19, now he's down 20. I don't see Kevin McCarthy as speaker. Now, I could be wrong. They could strike a deal with some Democrats. The Republicans could come to their senses. All of that. I don't see him becoming Speaker of the House. At a time when we ought to be pulling together, instead, they're pulling themselves apart. It's too bad. They came in with a majority, not a big one, but they came in with a majority, and they can't seem to use it. Let's talk to Rachel in Bay City. Rachel, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. I'm going to stick with the same topic.
Sure.
I personally think anytime the government is what they scream and holler their heads off, saying that they're shut down or that they're not capable of doing stuff, the more delay they have, the better for me, I think, and for America. They just literally last month spent $2 more trillion that we don't have on insane things that are the bill is even about. It's madness. This isn't a race.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Rachel, because you're right about it, but it's okay to say that, and oh yeah, I'm happy the government shut down. They can't do any more to damage us than they do already. The reality is there are a lot of things that happen in government other than the big issues that you talk about in the day-to-day operations that have to be done to keep the government running. You have to have a Congress, and you have to have, and in Congress, despite all of the attention to the big issues and the big divide, political divide in the country, there are lots of things that happen on a bipartisan basis day to day in Congress you never hear about. And it's what keeps the country going. So it's fun. It's fun to say they can't damage us anymore, and that's probably true. But the country can't function this way.
It's not a race. They didn't just as the biggest priority in determining this previous to the new Congress taking over, then if they're starting from one right now, fine. Let them argue their heads off. It's very important. The details that they're arguing about are huge.
Well, they are. Let me
So,
ask you this then. How does it resolve itself?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Personally, I would really, really, really love Jim Jordan to jump up and accept, but I mean, I don't even know if he'd get enough votes. I don't know how
That's
this is resolved.
that's a
I
very
don't.
interesting question. I've heard that said, and there's been talk about that. There's been talk about Upton
Yeah.
and a couple of other people. Jim Jordan, one I would find fascinating because I'm not sure he could
Yeah.
muster the 218 votes for just the opposite reasons that we're seeing right now.
Right? Yeah.
So I don't
No,
know.
but he's a good man, and he's going to do the right thing. He's just doing the investigative committee,
Well,
and that's wonderful.
Yeah,
because-
well, it is, but he can't do it.
Well, you know what?
He can't do it. Remember that.
I'm not concerned about a slight delay. It's not the huge dilemma that the mainstream media is screaming at us. And anytime they are screaming their heads off about something, then you know that
Well,
the conservatives are doing something right.
Here's my problem with it. It's not the delay. I agree with you. Delay, fine, no big deal. My problem is the optics for Republicans in the future if they keep this up. That's a problem.
I guess if some people are, more concerned about optics than substance.
No, the optics are based.
No.
No. The optics are based on substance. This is substance that they're doing right now. It's creating the optics.
Substance. It's important, and for them to stand firm on really important issues is a big deal. We need those kind of people. So,
Well,
okay, let's go.
All right.
It's a pause.
We'll find out.
All right.
All right, Rachel.
Yep.
Have a
Okay.
good day. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Take
You
care.
too.
Bye-bye now. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Don't forget the 989 area code, 989-752-6111.
This is Rachel from the SBRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. Celebrating a new year, 2023 is here. Come support over 30 small businesses like Global Food, delicious sweet treats, and more. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we will see you at the market. This is Rachel from the boardroom, located inside the SVRC Marketplace at 203 South Washington. We are now open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., offering daily lunch specials, homemade hot soups, and the best specialty burgers and flatbreads around. Happy hour daily with over 20 top selections from local and Michigan brews. Going to an event down your ticket for 10% off. Support small, get on board inside the boardroom.
Science proves quality sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. And it's temperature balancing, so you stay cool. So you're at your best for yourself and those you care about most. Life-changing sleep, only from Sleep Number. The Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 smart bed is only $899. Save $200, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
I'm Dr. Stewart. Why give your family just ordinary eggs? Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition compared to ordinary eggs. With 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, 25% less saturated fat, and 38% more lutein. Because the way we care is anything but ordinary. Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There are more signs the job market is holding up, though it's an indication the Federal Reserve has more work to do to slow the inflation. Fewer people were filing for unemployment benefits for the first time last week. The number of new claims declined by 19,000 to 204,000. And continuing claims, those still receiving unemployment benefits, came in below the forecast, 1.69 million. Also, payroll processing company ADP is reporting more job growth than expected from private employers last month. There were 235,000 new jobs reported by ADP. Amazon is cutting 18,000 corporate jobs, more than original estimates, as it deals with uncertainty about the economy. Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
President Trump has announced, and Ron DeSantis is rising fast. Who do you support for 2024? Newsmax wants to know what you think. Vote in the Newsmax poll. Just text the word RESPOND to 39747. That's RESPOND to 39747. It takes just seconds. Text RESPOND to 39747. Let your voice be heard and watch Newsmax today. Texting enrolls for automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. The Big Ten champion Michigan Wolverines.
Turns and hands it to Donovan Edwards, who goes flea flicker, firing deep down the middle, wide open, Monty Bell! Touchdown, Wolverines! It's off his hands and it's intercepted. Makari Page with the interception right in front of the Ohio. One man to beat. He cuts inside. He's in the clear. Touchdown, Donovan Edwards.
The Michigan Wolverines' drive for a national championship fell short, but it was still a season to remember. An undefeated regular season, a win against the rival Buckeyes in their own backyard, a second straight Big Ten championship, and back-to-back trips to the college football playoffs. And in 8 months, we plan on doing this all over again by bringing you another action-packed season of Michigan football right here on WSGW. We'd like to once again thank our sponsors who brought you Well, this year, Lingo Equipment Company, Schaefer and Beerline, Ram Truck and Frankenmuth, Zimomatic Irrigation Solutions, North Bloomfield Properties, and Wolfiles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. Thank you again for listening to another championship season of Michigan Wolverines football on WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show. All right, fine, I'll do it. I'll be Speaker of the House. Well, somebody's got to do it. I vote for David.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, Open Phones. One other political topic I'd like to talk about, aside from the speaker, is this New York Representative George Santos. You may be familiar with him. He's been in the news because he totally fabricated his background when he ran for office. He lied about his college, lied about his wealth, lied about this, that, the other thing, a whole bunch of stuff. And he is now sitting in the House of Representatives, although not sworn in yet, because he can't be sworn in until they have a speaker. And it really bothers me that people like this, even though he admitted that he falsified all this stuff, won't step aside. Now, they're probably going to swear him in because they have to, and duly elected member of the House. How long he lasts is another story because there's all kinds of investigations going on. But it just bugs me that this is the kind of person running for office. Now, he doesn't represent every House member. There are a lot of very fine people in the House of Representatives who go to work and do their best for the country and are there for the right reasons. And then there are these George Santos of the world who will say anything to get into the power position. I just am befuddled as to how we can attract the right kind of people to run for office when this is what Washington looks like today. I mean, there are so many factors. You know, first of all, I mean, you can't fault the people of Long Island where he's from for voting for him because they believed him. They thought what he said was what it is. So it's not on them. But it shows a great disrespect by him for his constituents. Because in effect, what he said was, so what? Politicians lie all the time. You know, well, unfortunately, that's true. Not to the extent that he did, but there's a lot of truth in that. But it bothers me that this is what's happening in politics. It has become so dirty and so negative. How are we going to attract the right people? And by the right people, by the way, I'm not saying Republican or Democrat, because there are right people on both sides, and there are some buffoons on both sides. I want to know how we attract people who want to do the best job for their constituents and for the country when all of this is going on. Why, for example, if you were called by a party, and by the way, I speak from experience because I was called a number of years ago to run for Congress. And I don't talk about it very often because I told them right on the phone I don't have a fire in my belly for it and don't plan to, and they also said the wrong things to me. But that's beside the point. I would not put my family in that political ringer for any amount of power or money. None whatsoever. Never would I do that. And I think there are a lot of people like me out there. And I'm not saying I'd be a great congressman. I have no idea. I mean, I'd go in with the best attitude and try and do the best I could. And I think there are a lot of people like me who could go to Congress, do the right thing for the country and their constituents, but don't want any part of it. Don't want to subject themselves to what you know is ahead. They're going to tear you apart with truth and with some half-truths and with no truths. It's the nature of the game today, and it's really too bad. So, something to chew on, you know. This guy, is this the new wave of representatives? Say what they want to get elected and then say, oh, yeah, well, everybody lies. I mean, I hope, although I don't see it happening, I would hope Mr. Santos would come to the conclusion that his constituents would be better represented by somebody else. Don't see that happening. Time will tell. Let's say hi to Errol in Saginaw. Errol, good morning.
You're befuddled? That's a new word. I don't know what's that one up. I'm gonna lighten this place up this morning. You ever been in Manitoba or Winnipeg?
I've been to Winnipeg. Been to Winnipeg.
Okay. All right. I've been to the little show down the road a piece from Winnipeg. But anyways, down the road is a place that they have snakes. Now you got to listen. Anyways, in the spring, about Mother's Day, they all decide it's time to wake up. an area about the size of a dining room table, okay, about 20, 25 feet deep, and it's time for them to come up and do their mating. Now, these are garter snakes; they're not pythons.
Right.
But okay, when they all start coming up, there are 70,000.
Say that again.
Whole area, and I thought if you like snakes, it'd be a great place to go for Mother's Day and things like that. But I'd forgotten about that place, so someone reminded me of that yesterday. But it's an amazing place. It really is, and it's the same time every year around Mother's Day.
When I first got in the business in the 60s, I worked in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And the town I was in, they would excavate or do something where they were going to disturb the ground, and they would find a pit loaded with rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
Of course, their answer was different.
Yeah.
They barbecued them.
Did they?
And they were delicious. They were delicious.
Up here for a barbecue, because in the bottom of this has been going on for 100 years, I guess. Everything is carved out from the ages and stuff like that. So there's always all kinds of cracks and crevices and everything else for them to stay. Doesn't kill them off, but I thought, well, if you're looking for a place to take a trip,
go visit the snakes. Visit the snakes in Manitoba.
Yeah, that's probably one of the pits with the most snakes in it. That's not going to chew your head off. They like crawl around on your hand and that, but no.
I thought the pit with the most
going on in Washington.
Errol.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought the pit with the most snakes in it was Congress. Am I wrong?
No, you are correct. Oh, that's what. No, you're not befuddled. You're a genius. I think you ought to run. You can't do anything.
Not going to happen
in Washington.
Not going to happen. Listen.
If you could make it interesting.
Yeah.
Instead of what they're going through, and this clown that is lying right out of his teeth. Why the hell did they have to swear him in?
Because he was elected. He's not sworn in yet because they don't have a speaker. But once the speaker's chosen, they will swear him in because there's nothing to prevent it.
It's quite obvious that he's a speaker. He just lies totally. But anyway.
All right. Have a good one.
Offering of laughs for today, sir.
Thanks a lot, Errol.
I refuse the other stuff. Talk to you.
Bye-bye now. We'll be back.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is Brew House. You are going to get a family 4-pack of bubble teas from the Bubble Tea Brew House in Saginaw for only $12. It's usually $24, but you are getting it half off. The Bubble Tea Brew House is located at 4370 Bay Road in Saginaw, and they have hundreds of flavor combinations. Literally, you pick it, you get it. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
If you are 65 or older, you know this. Watching your hard-earned dollars fly out the window on healthcare costs is so frustrating. But here's some great news. If you missed the December 7th deadline for open enrollment, it's not too late. Here's something that can really 65 plus. MediShare is a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills. People who encourage and pray for each other, too. MediShare 65 Plus is a low-cost option for those with Medicare Parts A and B, and it fills in the gaps where Medicare stops. It's a great way to fight inflation, too. You can lock in one low monthly price for up to 10 years. Plus, it's easy. You can use any Medicare-approved doctor or get 24/7 telehealth access from the comfort of your home. So worth looking into. MediShare 65 Plus is open for enrollment. And if you join right now, before January 31st, your second month will be free. So don't miss this chance. Call 844-SHARE-65. That's 844-SHARE-65. 844-SHARE.
Mint.com. Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 50 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-888-201-7635. And you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-888-201-7635. Call now and you'll receive a
Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-888-201-7635 now to secure your $10 Gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-888-201-7635.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them. We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Captain Mark Pananzek on open water walleye, Saginaw River and Saginaw Bay. Then Bob Ransom of Primal Outdoors. In our second hour, big pike through the ice with Taylor Pearson. And in our third hour, Dale Hendershot of the Michigan Trappers and Predator Callers Association. Listen Saturday mornings at 6 and Sundays at 9 on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back with you from our Saginaw Spirit Home Studios, brought to you by Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Speaking of hockey, Saginaw Spirit. Yesterday, a good friend of mine and I went down to the Castle Museum in Saginaw because they have a display in their Centennial Hall on hockey history in Saginaw going back to the 70s, and the Saginaw Gears were prominently displayed, and all of the other alliterations of hockey that have come about before the Spirit took hold. And, I don't know, there were 5 or 6 different teams that were only here a year or two. But the Gears display is really a real memory jarrer because you go back and you see photos of the players that played back then in the 70s and won the Turner Cups and featured, and I took a picture next to it, my buddy Dennis DeRozier, and I have to tell you, Dennis and I kid each other all the time, but he is one of the finest guys, one of the neatest individuals you'll ever meet. Rosie, of course, was a hockey hero back then. I mean, he spent time doing 2 things, putting the puck in the net and sitting in the penalty box. That was Rosie. And his one of his jerseys is automatic in there. So I stood next to it, took a picture, and but it brought back a ton of memories because when I moved here in 1974, and the then program director of the radio station picked me up at the airport and was going to take me to the hotel that I was staying in. He said, we have to make a stop first. And where we stopped was what was the old Civic Center, now the Dow, because we had to stop and watch the Saginaw Gears play hockey for a bit. So my introduction to Saginaw was up on the catwalk of the Dow watching the Saginaw Gears play hockey and this guy named Dennis DeRozier. And Rosie and I have become some good friends, and it was a thrill to going through this. If you have a chance, stop into the Castle Museum. First of all, Castle Museum is a gem in our midst with some wonderful, wonderful artifacts and history, as is, by the way, the Bay City Museum. And these places, where else are you going to see this history? Some of you may know I gave the toast to the office of the president at the Saginaw Club this past Sunday, New Year's Day. One of the things I talked about is who's keeping the history of a community. If you wanted to know what happened in, say, Saginaw 80, 90 years ago, what would you do? Well, the one thing you would do is you'd go to the library, you'd sit down at a microfiche machine, which they still have, and you would go through the newspapers, which kept a diary of everything happening in the community. That was your keeper of the history. Well, who's doing that today? The newspaper's a shadow of itself. You don't even have a daily. You can't do it on a daily basis. Who's keeping the history of a community? And I don't know the answer. Yeah, we have wonderful museums. The Historical Society Museum is fabulous. The Castle Museum, it's a wonderful place. But it's not the day-to-day history of your town. I don't know who's going to do that. What happens 100 years from now if somebody wants to know what happened in 2022 or 2023 in Saginaw? Where are they going to find that out? Who's got the archive? Who's the keeper of the history? I don't know. But I was reminded of it, and we went down to the museum yesterday to look at this hockey display, and it really is, it won't take you very long. You know, in 20, 30 minutes, you can see the whole thing. You can read everything there is. There's a video playing you can watch. And it'll bring back some memories. If you're from Saginaw and you've been around here in the 70s, this will bring back a lot of memories. It was worth doing. It really was. It was great. All right, lines open for you, whatever you want to chat about, and we will take a pause and then come back with more.
Less for gas? Stop at any one of your local 26 Forward Shell convenience stores where you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up with Shell Fuel Rewards. Earn even more cents off when you make purchases in-store on some of your favorite snacks and drinks. Stack the savings, and you can regularly save 10, 20, 30 cents or more off each gallon of gas. That's Fuel Rewards and your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
God. About my business not being ready for the holidays.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
So time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. And it's true, the typical family switching to MediShare saves $500 or more a month, which is obviously huge for a lot of people. But what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. Double. There are 400,000 members. They've shared over $4 billion in medical bills. And it really is a great community, too. People encourage and pray for each other. And here's the thing, if you join MediShare Complete right now, they'll waive your new member fees and off all of 2023. That's right, no fee to join, 10% off every month of next year, but it's a very limited time offer. You have to sign up before December 31st. Great savings, great healthcare. Find out more. Call now, 877-64-BIBLE. That's 877-64-BIBLE. 877-64-BIBLE.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or video live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
The WSGW Morning Team.
Online columnist who's writing about food that you can eat for luck in the new year. And the question was about some food you can eat that you menus that are supposed to be good for you in the new year. First of all, you should know that if you eat round food, that resembles coins and money, and symbolically, these foods mean you'll have a financially successful new year.
A round food would be
Round food. Well, in this case, they reference things like peas.
Oh.
That's round.
Oh.
Well, just saying.
Hamburgers are round too.
Yeah. Thank you, Denise.
In a way.
Pizza's round too.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
Round, hamburgers are round.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there are no friends.
Pepperoni's round too. Coin shaped, about the size of a $50.
All right, let's see where you guys are going with this. Next year, we'll have the morning team list of.
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, your morning team. 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And there's been a lot of conversation in the world of golf about the Live Golf Tour, backed by the Saudi Arabian government and Saudis. Well, there's a story out today, and this ought to be enough to raise the hairs on the back of your neck. The headline is Saudi-backed Live Golf is using PGA suit to get data on 9/11 families, a court was told. And apparently they are trying to find out who the families are that are critical of the kingdom and its new professional golf circuit. And the Live tournament is backed by a $676 billion Saudi sovereign wealth fund. And apparently the tournament, or the Saudis, are using this to get information on people that are against them. And the Saudis have said that the PGA is secretly running a smear campaign to take them down. Well, I don't know about that. I think that they need to be watched. I would say that. The tour, the Live Tour, according to this story, and it's a quote, Live has brazenly hired a firm in the United States to track and monitor the activities of these 9/11 victims and families, while simultaneously, through underlying lawsuits, use antitrust discovery to sift through communications with these families, even if they have nothing to do with Live Golf or the golfers. And it just... this whole thing, it's a shame. Golf was a sport for all its existence practically, that held itself above all of the negatives and various accusations that other professional sports go through. And it is a shame that it has now found itself in this position of having to air its dirty laundry, which it never had to do before. I think what's going to happen, I believe, in the long run, I think Live Golf will eventually merge back into the PGA, because to be honest, I don't see Live surviving forever. Yeah, the Audis can throw a lot of money at it, and they can keep throwing money at it, but I don't see it. I don't see it surviving forever, and I see those players who went to Live having to beg to get back into the PGA good graces at some point in time. Now, when that is, I don't know. It could be a day from now. It could be a year from now. It could be 10 years from now. It could be more. I just think that there will be a meeting of the minds, so to speak, and that we will get back to one major institution of golf. It's similar in a way. I mean, football has had its alternates. The USFL, for example, is still around. This is year 2 for the USFL. They've had other alliterations in the past which haven't survived. But the difference was that the USFL was a place that players who either outlived their usefulness in the NFL or couldn't quite make an NFL team had a place to go that was a professional league and they could make a living. That's not what this is in golf. In golf, some of the players that went to live were, I mean, the Phil Mickelsons of the world. You can't say he's poor. You can't say he didn't have a successful career. And there were a lot of those players. So it's a little bit different than having an adjacent league where almost Rands could go. This is a direct competitive league in golf. But if they're using it to spy on and find out and create negative campaigns against victims of 9/11 because they speak out against the kingdom, something's got to be done there. All right, let's take our last break, and then we will be back to close out.
Important part of a retirement plan.
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
Off the outside of the cage, Costanzo's out of his net, centered in front, they score! Michael Mesa from behind the net.
Tune in Friday night for Saginaw Spirit Hockey as the Spirit try to get back in the win column when they host the Kitchener Rangers at the Dow Benz Center. Coverage begins at 6:50 p.m. on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. Great seats are still available for Friday night and Saturday night. Visit Saginaw Spirit.
It's Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Does it feel like a red wave?
It feels like a red wave. News coverage.
Folks, that didn't happen.
Definitely not a Republican wave, that's for darn sure.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer will lead the state for 4 more years.
We have come a long way, Michigan. A place where women make their own decisions.
Republicans, not Democrats, are in fact looking for answers.
It's abortion, stupid. Democrats take full control of the Michigan legislature.
News coverage.
We will be in the majority, and Nancy Pelosi will be in the minority.
Yeah. On WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for this first hour. The Art Lewis Show will be back to talk about how employers are controlling inflation at the same time trying to support their employees. That'll be coming up at the top of the hour, and after that, we'll have some more open phones here on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
I'm Monica Ricks in New York. California is getting slammed right now by its second major storm in days, and it's already to Jonathan Vigliotti's in Sacramento County.
The damage has already begun across the Bay Area and Central Coast, and for at least one family overnight, heartbreak.
We had a fatality up there of a minor.
The town of Occidental's fire chief, Ron Lenardi, described the events following a tree falling on the mobile home of a family of 3, killing a toddler.
A 19-year-old also died when she hydroplaned into a utility pole. Brian Koberger, who's accused of killing 4 Idaho University students, is back in Idaho and set to be in court soon to face murder charges. CBS's Omar Villafranca is in Moscow.
Koberger, early as this morning, we just don't have official word yet. Now, at his initial appearance, he'll hear the charges against him, but he won't have to enter a plea.
As many as 100,000 people attended Pope Benedict's funeral today at the Vatican. Bethany Bells with the BBC.
There was applause from the faithful who had gathered for the funeral. Pope Francis, who presided over the service, was brought out in a wheelchair. He prayed for the soul of his predecessor Benedict. The service was attended by clergy from around the world, cardinals in red vestments, nuns and monks in dark robes. The choir sang, "May angels lead you into paradise."
The Justice Department can deliver abortion drugs. Here's CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The Justice Department says mailing abortion drugs does not violate the Comstock Act. Following the Supreme Court's decision that overturned Roe v. Wade and the subsequent rulings in individual states curtailing abortion, many people have sought abortion drugs directly through the mail and sometimes from overseas.
Financial problems are increasing for a major retailer.
Owners of struggling Bed Bath & Beyond are warning the company may not be able to stay in business, even as they consider refinancing debt or filing for bankruptcy. The company says its dismal sales continued through the holiday shopping season. The retailer was started in 1971 and workers in more than 950 stores.
That's CBS's Jim Krasula reporting. Shocking revelations now about a royal dust-up. The BBC's Johnny Diamond has details.
Harry says that Prince William came to his home in 2019 to talk about their personal and professional lives, but that an argument soon ensued. He says that William described Meghan as rude, difficult and abrasive. He says that William lost his temper, that both men were soon shouting at each other, and that William grabbed at Harry's neck and knocked him to the floor.
Harry's book Spare is out Tuesday. This is CBS News.
This winter, there are now updated COVID-19 booster shots designed for Learn more and schedule your updated booster at vaccines.gov. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
I'm Tamron Hall. Why give your family just ordinary? Enjoy the best. Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition compared to ordinary eggs. With 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, 25% less saturated fat, and 38% more lutein. Because the way we care is anything but ordinary. Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
For everything your business needs to make this year your year, Staples has you covered.
I need to organize all my papers and files from last year and the year before that.
Staples has you covered.
I need to clear clutter from my office and my home office and my home.
Staples has you covered with everything you need to get organized this year at amazing savings. Right now at Staples, get up to 50% off select file folders, file cabinets. Spins. Make this year your year at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 1/28 in store only.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 36 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. The Saginaw Township Church had its bell and bell house stolen this week. The bell dates to 1883, and the bell house was made as part of an Eagle Scout project to hold the bell. The Second Presbyterian Church on Midland Road sometime between 6 p.m. Tuesday and noon on Wednesday. Please call the Saginaw Township Police Department if you have any information. A tanker truck full of milk crashed yesterday in Sanilac County. The police say the semi hauling the milk was heading south on North Ruth Road in Marion Township at 2:35 a.m. when a northbound SUV crossed the center line into the truck's path. The semi-driver was able to swerve and avoid a head-on collision with the SUV, but overturned in a ditch. About 12,000 gallons of milk worth around $25,000 spilled onto a field. The driver was unharmed. Anyone with information about the crash is asked to call the Sanilac County Sheriff's Department. More than 30 classic automobiles will be auctioned off Friday to benefit Northwood University. The collection of vehicles valued at over $2 million was donated by Michael and Diane Morey, the previous owners of Bandit Industries, before they sold the company in 2018. This Friday, Florida-based Meekum Auction House will auction all but one of the vehicles off with bidding online, over the phone, or in person at Northwood University. Up to $1 million will be dedicated to enhancing the campus experience and expanding on research. Remaining funds going toward a scholarship and endowment fund. A 1958 Chevy Corvette from the collection will be kept by the university and displayed on campus as a reminder of the Morey's generosity. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Want to pay less for gas? Stop at any one of your local 26 Forward Shell convenience stores where you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up with Shell Fuel Rewards. Earn even more cents off when you make purchases in-store on some of your favorite snacks and drinks. Stack the savings, and you can regularly save 10, 20, 30 cents or more off each gallon of gas. That's area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather for a West Michigan woman, Shanda Vander Ark, will stand trial for murder and child abuse in the death of her 15-year-old son, Timothy Ferguson. Muskegon County Judge Maria Lattis Hoops says the facts of the case are appalling. She says the pictures of the boy show a young man with his ribs showing, almost as if there's no skin on them. The judge says Vander Ark would say he's faking it the more he suffered. Ferguson died last July in their home in Norton Shores. He weighed 69 pounds when he should have weighed 130. Michigan Attorney General is joining a coalition to challenge Florida's Don't Say Gay law. Michigan News Network's Kyle Kimball has this report.
Dana Nessel, now part of a multi-state faction of attorneys general opposing the Parental Rights in Education Act, commonly referred to as Don't Say Gay. The legislation, which went into effect last year in Florida, outlaws classroom instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity through 8th grade. Nessel, who claims the law is also unconstitutional, says it threatens LGBTQ students who are vulnerable to discrimination. Kyle Kimball, the Michigan News Network.
Michigan Supreme Court Justice Kyra Harris Bolden, who just took office on January 1st, is sparking controversy by her decision to hire a clerk who spent 14 years behind bars for armed robbery and shooting at a police officer. 48-year-old Pete Martell pled guilty to robbing a convenience store in Genesee County and assault with intent to do a great bodily harm in 1994. Fellow Supreme Court Justice against Bolden's decision to hire Martell, saying that certain offenses should prevent people from working for the state's highest court. Bolden was appointed to the Michigan Supreme Court last year by Governor Gretchen Whitmer. WSGW News Time, 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Few scattered areas of rain and snow mixing at times here for today, with cloudy sky conditions and temperatures holding rather steady. Low southwest winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tonight, a slight chance for snow, cloudy and low near 32. By Friday, mostly cloudy skies, high 36 degrees. And on Saturday, mostly sunny. 34. Sunday, partial sunshine develops, high 36 degrees. Then on Monday, mostly cloudy, high around 39. Tuesday, cloudy, high of 38 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 34.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online WSGW. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. As you heard, sponsored by Westside Decorating Center. Stop in, see their expanded showroom at 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Open phones later on, but we're going to begin this hour talking about employers and how they're dealing with inflation, what's ahead for them in 2023, how they support their employees. And to do that, there is a company in Michigan called Aon, A-O-N, a financial services company. And with them, we welcome to the program this morning, Stephanie DeLorm. Stephanie, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Thanks for joining us. I think before we get into some of the nitty gritty here, tell us about Aon, what kind of company it is.
Sure. Aon, global professional services firm that, as you mentioned, is in Michigan. We are also throughout the United States and have presence in Canada and global presence around in the UK, EMEA, APAC, and LATAM. And we specialize in risk, health reinsurance, and wealth solutions. And at Aon, we partner with our clients to help them shape business decisions for the best. Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Well, we're going to talk about how companies are supporting employees and inflation and wage creep and all of those good things at a time when, again, we woke up today to news of a couple of big companies shedding thousands and thousands of employees. What kind of year is 2023 going to be?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting year. And I think when we think about the labor market, we have to really think about it based on the different industry sectors. So, for instance, we're seeing some right sizing in the tech sectors, but overall we're continuing to see record low unemployment rates. The market is still going to be tight.
It's an interesting. It's just an interesting thought when we have these record low unemployment rates. Yet we know there are open jobs. We know there are people out there who are choosing not to work. This seems like a very strange time in our history in terms of work ethic, finding people to fill positions. What's happened?
Yeah, it is really an interesting time. And, we had the what we call the Great Resignation after the pandemic, where I think people really took a step back and started to think about them. And now, there's this new phenomenon going on, which we're calling quiet quitting, which is individuals that are at work, and it's really, it's a new term for employees being disengaged. So they're at work, but they're not necessarily engaged with the work that they're doing. So it really is an interesting time, and it's making employers really take a step back and think about what they do to what they need to do to retain and attract talent.
All right, so let's take a look at some of those things. Compensation. Let's start there, because obviously we work, we want to get paid for our work, and employers are facing sort of an uphill battle there, aren't they?
They are. It's interesting when you think about the impact of inflation, and what consult with employers is that the first thing that they really need to do when they think about, do they adjust compensation? Do they adjust their compensation budgets? It's really to think about whether or not they have, is their view on inflation a short-term view or a long-term view? Meaning, do they think we're going to come out of this in the short term, or do they need to be thinking about it from long term? Now, data would suggest that most employers are thinking about it from a short-term standpoint, meaning that they're taking a really strategic and targeted approach from adjusting compensation and really thinking about targeted groups. So thinking about adjusting compensation for, perhaps high performers or roles that are hard to recruit for, versus saying, hey, we really need to adjust our merit budget across the board for the long term to attract and retain talent. So that's one thing that employers are doing as they think about the inflation piece. But when it comes to benefits, employers are really starting to focus in on benefits that are going to attract and retain talent as well.
No matter what the employer looks at, though, compensation, which includes benefits, all of the various segments of that compensation package are going up. So at what point does the employer say, A, I have to reduce my staff, or B, I have to raise my prices? Somewhere along the line, something has to give, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think that's really the struggle that employers have right now is, how can I manage, I need to drive my business forward. So I need the right skills and the right people to drive my business forward, but I also need to manage my spend. And so what I would say is employers are really starting to focus in on when it comes to benefits, is really focusing in on the benefits that are going to be most impactful for them as an organization and most impactful for their employees to drive savings. And so, employers are really looking at one, offering benefits that are going to help employees from a financial standpoint, because affordability is just huge. Employees right now are struggling with just basic needs. So they're having to make choices between, do I pay for groceries or do I pay for this healthcare service that I need? And a lot are avoiding care because of that. And that's only going to just increase the cost of healthcare overall. So employers are really trying to find ways to help employees and put in programs that are going to help employees from an affordability standpoint.
How important is internal communications between the employer management and the employee?
I would say that they're extremely important and becoming even more important in this day and age from a couple of different angles. One is employers are focusing in on attracting and retaining talent, they're really trying to focus in on what's called the employee value proposition. So, how can they really articulate what the purpose of the organization is, how that organization, and then also the value that that the employer and the benefits that an employer provides to that employee, what that value is for them. So the communication is just, it starts from a culture standpoint, but then it goes into, just understanding what is the mission, the vision of the organization, the purpose, what are the benefits that, and the programs, and how we're going to support the employee through their entire.
This is sort of a philosophical question, but when I grew up, which was a long time ago, my father taught me work ethic from day one. I graduated high school at a young age. I was 16 in New York City. And I got home, and on my dining room table was my work permit that he had gotten for me and the name of the job that he had gotten for me. It wasn't a choice. This is what you're going to do. You're going to learn that you work and you get paid for your work, and your employer owes you and you owe your employer. I sense, and of course, this is a big brush. I don't want to paint it across everybody, but I sense that that discussion or that lesson on work ethic hasn't been carried on like it should today. What do your employers tell you?
Yeah, what I would say is employees are looking for meaning and purpose out of their work. And so I think that the ethics and the values are there if they find the right organization that they can connect with, and they feel belonging to that organization, and they feel like that organization can support them.
That it goes to the old adage that if you enjoy your job and it's not work, you'll do it for a long, long time.
That's right.
Which is why I'm still in radio. I mean, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
But it just seems to me that today, and I was amazed when we had that big exit from the workplace from people who were gainfully employed. Part of it, I think, was, government handing out big sums of money and people felt they could live off the land for a while. But I just shook my head watching people leave who had gainful employment, great jobs, great salaries, great pay, and then they just abandoned ship.
Yeah. Well, and what we would say is, again, and the data supports it, that many were leaving. I mean, there's multiple reasons, but many were leaving because they didn't feel that sense of purpose, and they wanted to find, an organization they could connect with and feel that sense of purpose.
Yeah, but in the meantime, those employers that have those jobs are having trouble filling them, aren't they?
That's right. That's exactly right. Right. So then that creates the issue of, okay, how do we retain the employees that we have today, and how can we attract new talent into the organization in an environment where skills are converging, and organizations need to tighten up their own budgets.
And the other thing we heard, of course, is for years and years and years, we spent time touting a 4-year college education and disregarding the trades and jobs where people could make as much as a college education, but didn't have to have a college education. You could be a welder and make more than the engineer coming out of college. That's changed, hasn't it?
It has changed. Yeah, it really has changed. And, I think employers, again, are really trying to figure out what are the skills that they need for their organizations, as many of the organizations have just transpired and transformed over the course of the last couple of years, especially in this world of digital that we're living in right now.
Yeah. All right. So last question. Let's look in the DeLorm crystal ball, that fabulous device that you can tell all in. What's 2023 going to be like for employers?
Yeah, I think 2023 is going to be similar to what we've seen in 2022 in terms of a tightening labor market. But I think there's a few trends that employers should be thinking about as we move into 2023. And one is focusing in on upskilling and development of soft skills, because that really is a predominant retention strategy for employers. I would say, hybrid work environments, flexibility, we've seen it is valued. It's going to continue to be valued. will continue to play a larger role in recruitment strategies, as I mentioned before. Pay transparency. I mean, this is another one that's really big. It's going to continue to gain momentum in 2023. And finally, I would say, with the economic uncertainty, we're going to continue to see an increased focus and need on mental health.
Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. Is there a website people can go to get more information?
Sure. Our website is aon.com. So that's AON.
Oh, that's simple. That's great.
It is.
Stephanie, have a happy new year, and thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Art. You as well. Take care. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Bye-bye now. Stephanie DeLorm from Aon at aon.com, AON.com for more information about them. We'll take a break, come back, open phones for the remainder of the hour.
Bay City's best bridge is open to traffic. Brought to you by Bay City Bridge Partners and local union workers. Come see the new Liberty Bridge for yourself. Tolling is free through March. Drive the most direct route between home, work, school, and many of Bay City's hotspots. Experience the smooth potholes and new, more reliable mechanics, electronics, and technology. Get your transponder and learn more at BayCityBridgePartners.com.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. And it's true, the typical family switching to MediShare saves $500 or more a month, which is obviously huge for a lot of people. But what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. Double. There are 400,000 members. They've shared over $4 billion in medical bills, and it really is a great community too. People encourage. And here's the thing. If you join MediShare Complete right now, they'll waive your new member fees and you'll save an additional 10% off all of 2023. That's right. No fee to join, 10% off every month of next year, but it's a very limited time offer. You have to sign up before December 31st. Great savings, great healthcare. Find out more. Call now. 877-64-BIBLE. That's 877-64-BIBLE. 877-64-BIBLE.
It's Jesse Kelly. Why do you think so many countries have huge gold reserves? Gold lasts. The value of gold lasts. How many times have I things you can touch and feel because you know the value lasts? There's nothing like precious metals, nothing out there like it. I buy all my gold from Oxford Gold Group. 833-974-1300. They'll deliver it to your front door. Oxford Gold Group.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks lost ground at the open after more signs of the resilient job market expected to push the Federal Reserve to continue with interest rate increases to slow the economy and fight inflation. The number of new claims declined last week to 204,000, and payroll processing company ADP is reporting 235,000 jobs created by private employers last month. The monthly employment report is released tomorrow morning. Bed Bath & Beyond has expressed concerns about the company being able to continue. Amazon is cutting 18,000 jobs, responding to uncertainty about the economy. But ConAgra reported a better than expected quarter. Higher prices made up for lower sales volume. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
It's Jesse Kelly. Why do you think so many countries have huge gold reserves? Gold lasts. The value of gold lasts. How many times have I told you, buy things you can touch and feel because you know the value lasts? There's nothing like precious metals, nothing out there like it. I buy all my gold from Oxford Gold Group. 833-974-1300. They'll deliver it to your front door. Oxford Gold Group.
Listen anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSW online poll is about the Bay City Bridge tolls. The Bay City Bridge Partners, now responsible for the Liberty Bridge and the Independence Bridge. The tolling to cross the Liberty Bridge, that's going to start at the end of March. If you're a resident within the city limits of Bay City, driving a basic passenger vehicle with a transponder, you're free until 2028. The transponder is free, by the way. The basic passenger vehicle rate for non-residents with a transponder, $2 per crossing. $50 per crossing. You could get a $15 per month unlimited pass too. Higher rates for other vehicles. Poll question. What are your plans for crossing the Liberty Bridge when the tolls start? Will you use the bridge? Oh, you used it. Will you alter your route as much as you can to try to avoid the toll? Or will you plan to absolutely do whatever is necessary to never pay a toll? What will you do for the Bay City Bridge tolls? Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find a poll box, and please vote that way.
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, the morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Over phones for the remainder of the hour. And let's go to those phones now, and we'll talk to Carl in Saginaw. Carl, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
I'd like to talk about the House of Representatives and the GOP.
Sure.
But just a thing about, you were talking about work ethic with your last guest.
Yes.
And I know that seems to hit at home to you. I would just say on this topic, it seems to me the ethic of the employers changed maybe since you were in high school and you had your first job.
I would say it's a two-way street.
A lot of places, yeah, a lot of places, they're telling employees, we're not going to hire you full time. There's no benefits. There's no overtime. We're going to schedule you all over the map. And then some of these employers are saying, well, what's wrong with these people? Why don't they want to work? It's not the same.
I just had that conversation.
Workplace.
I just had that conversation the other day with an employer who needed people, for a very limited schedule, 13 to 15 hours, and can't find anybody. And I understand that. You're absolutely right about that. But it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
You could talk to employers, Carl, who have full-time positions available. They hire people, they come in for one day and they're gone the next. Or they come in and they make demands on time. It's a two-way street. The employer has to treat the employee with respect, absolutely, and provide a decent work environment, decent wage, and all of that stuff. But the employee has to understand that when they're paid to do a job, they owe the employer the time to do the job. And that's what's missing. I think both sides have some blame here. I'll agree with you.
Yeah, and it's not, I don't think it's as new as maybe some people think it is. It was never easy to find employees. Wages were always an issue. You're always competing against, we were competing against, General Motors wages in Saginaw at the time.
Absolutely.
It's always something. There's no guarantee when you start a business that you're going to have a line of people out the door,
There's no guarantee you're going to be in business the next year.
No, it's not.
It's tough.
And getting to the Republicans in the House.
Yep.
Now you were saying this does not look good. It doesn't look good for, what's going to come, maybe in the next year or 2 years. If they can't elect, a leader, then I know they will eventually.
Oh, of course.
But the problems are still going to be there. What's going to happen when the debt ceiling or the FAA appropriations, it just
I'll tell you what's going to happen there. What's going to happen there is that in the long run, as would have to happen, they'll have bipartisanship on some of those issues. Right now, you have to understand, 20 people are dictating what's happening. when you have a major issue in front of Congress where Democrats and Republicans all get to vote on it, those 20 negative voices get diminished. But right now, those voices are very loud because they're really controlling it because of the very slim margin that the Republicans have. 20 people can totally derail the discussion, which is what they're doing. But when you have a major issue like funding, you would expect that eventually you would have enough bipartisan support that those voices would be diminished.
Well, I hope so. But I remember in the past, the Republicans would not bring a measure to the House floor unless it would pass with Republican votes. I mean, that was
right. But that's
that was a standing rule.
And you don't think the Democrats do the same thing?
Well,
come on now.
I know you're not a big fan of Nancy Pelosi, but she had a slim margin in the House, and she was able to get a lot of things done.
Yeah, but she had a unified margin.
Well,
that's different. And the other thing was she got a lot of things done because it's what the Democrats wanted done, whether the Republicans supported them or not. It's exactly the same thing. She brought to the floor what she knew her Democrats would support.
Well,
Republicans are going to do the same thing.
A lot of Republicans now, they're not in the mood for compromise. They're not in the mood for bipartisanship.
Well,
they think that's the problem.
Well, I understand that, but I also understand that even in Pelosi's party, in the Democratic Party, you have a segment of that party which wasn't real happy with a lot of things, but they voted for it. Because they did put forth the unified front as Democrats. The Republicans are having a problem now. But I suspect that once they get a speaker and they start moving forward with their agenda in the House, and remember, they can only do it in the House. When it hits the Senate, it's probably a dead issue if they can't get the votes in the Senate. So I think you will see the same kind of thing happen once they get a speaker. So... All right.
Yeah. Well, they can hold hearings, and I think they will.
Oh, they will. You know that's going to happen. All right. Hey, listen, I got to run. Carl, thanks. Have a good one, buddy.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye now. We'll be back.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
If you are 65 or older, you know this. Watching your hard-earned dollars fly out the window on healthcare costs is so frustrating, but here's some great news. If you missed the December 7th deadline for open enrollment, it's not too late. Here's something that can really help. It's MediShare 65 Plus. MediShare is a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, people who encourage and pray for each other too. MediShare 65 Plus is a low-cost option for those with Medicare Parts A and B, and it fills in the gaps where Medicare stops. It's a great way to fight inflation too. You can lock in one low monthly price for up to 10 years. Any Medicare-approved doctor or get 24/7 telehealth access from the comfort of your home. So worth looking into. MediShare 65 Plus is open for enrollment, and if you join right now before January 31st, your second month will be free. So don't miss this chance. Call 844-SHARE-65. That's 844-SHARE-65. 844-SHARE-65.
Science proves quality sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. And it's temperature balancing, so you stay cool. So you're at your best for yourself and those you care about most. Sleep Number. The Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 smart bed is only $899. Save $200 plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
It was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic. Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at NGI or download the app today.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So what do you provide? Cookie cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investments. Earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Bubble Tea Brew House. You are going to get a family 4-pack of bubble teas from the Bubble Tea Brew House in Saginaw for only $12. It's usually $24, but you are getting it half off. The Bubble Tea Brew House, 70 Bay Road in Saginaw, and they have hundreds of flavor combinations. Literally, you pick it, you get it. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Has this ever happened to you? Your significant other says, we've got to redo the kitchen, and you break out into a cold sweat?
Well, don't worry. It's a common condition, something we call needless remodeling anxiety, and we've got the cure. Heck, we are the cure. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Whether you do it yourself or direct it yourself, we can help you keep your project on track and on budget.
So join us this weekend for the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
Things at 9 on WSGW.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, welcome back. The Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Lines open for you at 989-752-6111. An update on Damar Hamlin, Buffalo Bills player who collapsed on the field with cardiac arrest following a tackle. Apparently, there are signs of improvement, according to a spokesman for the family, Jordan Rooney. He's still sedated in intensive care. There was a story yesterday that they were reducing the oxygen flow from 100% to 50%, which is a good sign. Apparently, things are moving in a positive direction for Mr. Hamlin. Everybody's prayers and thoughts are with him. Collapsed following, what looked like just an everyday tackle on T. Higgins in the first quarter. The game is postponed. At some point, it's going to have to be played because it affects and will affect the final standings in the NFL. And, football is a contact sport. And it's a dangerous sport. Yeah, they're well padded and they're all protected, but obviously you can't protect 100% of everything all the time. It's going to be interesting to see if football changes anything, the padding or how it protects the chest, for example. I don't know. I'm not an expert in the field. And I have a note on my screen here that apparently Senator Stabenow has announced that she will not run for re-election in 2024. Interesting. Debbie Stabenow will not run for re-election in 2024. If that's the case, I would expect that almost instantaneously people will start coming out of the woodwork to run for that seat in the Senate. And, the one thing about our representatives in the Senate and the House, Democrat or Republican, in this case, we have two Democrat senators, Stabenow and Peters. We have Democrat and Republican representatives. And you can disagree with them on all the major issues in the country today, or you can agree with them too. But the one thing that's true about all of them, and it's been proven time and time again, is when it comes to Michigan and the needs of their constituency in Michigan, They vote as a bipartisan uniform body. They are there to work for Michigan. And I think that is one of the reasons that Debbie Stabenow and Gary Peters have enjoyed relatively easy re-elections. The reason that Congressman Kildee, for example, and other congressmen in the state have enjoyed relatively easy re-elections is because they're here for the people of Michigan. So it will be interesting to see who comes out on which side of the aisle to run for that seat in the Senate. It now becomes a very important seat because obviously the majority for Democrats in the Senate is very slim. They can't afford to lose seats. And does this seat now turn Republican? I don't know. Time will tell. And it depends who the candidates are. Are they strong, good, solid candidates, or is there a lot of baggage? Chris, hang on. I have to take a quick break, and we'll get to Chris in Midland right after these notes.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
This message is for the guy who isn't perfect in the bedroom, but who is. Maybe or keeping it up, or maybe it's finishing too soon. If any of these issues sound familiar to you, don't sweat it. HIMS can help by providing access to effective, affordable treatments for ED and other men's issues. Go to 4hims.com for a free online assessment, and if appropriate, a licensed medical provider will prescribe the treatment best for you, all from the comfort of your home. And the medication is shipped free to your door in discreet packaging. Plus, HIMS gives you unlimited follow-up visits with medical providers. Look, no one's perfect in the bedroom every time, but with HIMS, you can get a lot closer than before. And chances are your partner will agree.
To start your free assessment today, go to 4hims.com/perfect. That/perfect for your free assessment. FORHIMS.com/PERFECT.
Attention, per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free, as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit testkitforfree.com to register now from the comfort of your own home. That's testkitforfree.com to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to testkitforfree.com today. Paid for by T. Euro Health.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
Off the outside of the cage, Costanzo's out of his net, centered in front, they score! Michael Mesa from behind the net.
Tune in Friday night for Saginaw Spirit Hockey as the Spirit try to get back in the win column when they host the Kitchener Rangers at the Dow Benz Center. Coverage begins at 6:50 p.m. on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. Great seats are still available for Friday night and Saturday night. Visit SaginawSpirit.com for information.
It's Saginaw on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and Chris is in Midland waiting to chat with us. Chris, good morning.
Hi. You touched on something in the 9 o'clock hour, and I wasn't able to call in. Had to get out of the car and things to do. But you also mentioned at the 8 o'clock news, the CBS folks said something, too, about the delay of the House electing a speaker so, quote unquote, normal business can get taken care of. I thought the Democrats rammed an omnibus spending bill through in December that would allow government to operate until September to the end of the next fiscal year. So I'm wondering what day-to-day stuff is being held up. And another point, the 8 o'clock news talked about the speakership issue and the fact that, and I didn't believe what I heard, there were 3 and I can only remember two of them. They said one of them was VA benefits, and the other was Social Security payments would be held up. And I'm saying, well, what? I don't understand how those items can be held up if the big spending bill was already taken care of. And I'm sorry I don't have the third point. I don't know if somebody else may have been listening this morning.
I'm going to guess here to a degree, but I think part of the issue is the debt ceiling needs to be continually raised. And if you don't raise the debt ceiling, you can't spend the money.
Well, that's another thorn in my craw.
Well, that may be mine too, but it's reality, and and that may be a thorn in your side, but it's reality. Actually, the bottom line is no business can be conducted. They can't do anything. They can't do the day-to-day stuff that keeps the country going. A lot of stuff you never hear about.
That's where I'm confused about. I mean, what?
Oh, there's legislation every day that they vote on that you never hear about, that has to do with the inner workings of government, and it's continuous and it's bipartisan for the most part. But you never hear about that. You never hear about that. You only hear about the big issues,
right?
That are the divisive issues. But in reality, they're at work every day, and there's legislation every day, in one form or another. So there's a lot that has to be done. And the reality, too, is you don't have a government if they don't swear in these people. Who's running the show?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
I need to find out where I can get educated on, stuff like that. I don't know if there's a source of information that I can go to that might help me out.
Well, I'll tell you what you can do. You can there's a number of them. Your various representatives all have websites and tell you what they're up to and what's going on. That would be a place to start. You can.
Well, is that minutia or is that the big things?
So it's both. You're liable to find both because a lot of these folks sit on committees and they'll tell you what the committees are up to and things of that nature.
Okay.
So, find out who your representative is and look at their site. Look at other representative sites too.
All right.
Look them up. They're there. Every one of them is there.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Chris. Have a good one. Thanks.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Looking at the announcement from Debbie Stabenow, and I said that, can't wait to see who comes out of the woodwork. Well, this particular article, it was in the Free Press. The paragraph says, the announcement is certain to set off a flurry of activity about who will vie to succeed her. Gee, what a surprise, huh? Let's see, who did they name anybody here? Last open seat was 2014 when Gary Peters beat former Secretary of State Terry Lynn Land to replace Senator Levin. I remember that. Look at this. Would Governor Gretchen Whitmer be interested in the job? Her name has been mentioned a couple of times as a potential presidential candidate if Joe Biden were to say that he's not going to run again. There's an interesting twist on it. Would Jennifer Granholm, not Jennifer Granholm, well, maybe I should ask, would Jennifer Granholm be interested? Would Gretchen Whitmer be interested in that job? She says no. She says she's elected governor for 4 years and plans to serve. Now, politics, of course, makes for strange bedfellows, and nothing is in concrete. Nothing is in stone. She could change her mind. She could be persuaded by outside forces to change her mind and run for the office. That's always a possibility. So it'll be interesting to see if any old names from the past come forward, or if we get a whole new crop of candidates to come forward and run for that office. It's going to be interesting to see. I would expect not to see John James' name running. He ran, of course, against Gary Peters for the Senate. But now that he's been elected to the House, I would doubt very much if he would now try and run again for the Senate. Who knows? Who knows? It's so much fun to watch politics. Oh, my goodness, yes. Mega Millions jackpot, by the way, if you're looking to get rich overnight, good luck. $940 million in climbing for tomorrow's drawing. Or you could take the cash payout of $483.5 million, which is what most people would do. And you say to yourself, well, why would you do that? Why would you give up half? Well, you're not giving up half. Because you would take the $483.5 million, you'd put that in the bank, you'd live off the interest and never touch the principal. And if you lived long enough for 30 years, unlike the $940 million taking the 30-year payout, at the end of the 30 years, you'd still be getting millions and millions of dollars, and you'd still have every penny you were given. Makes more sense. It'll be the fourth largest ever won if somebody wins it. Last jackpot was October 14th. And the biggest one, one of the biggest ones, the third largest, was $1.05 billion in Oakland County Lottery Club. Won that one. So, wow. A lot of money on the line. It brings people out. Even people who don't normally gamble will plunk down $1 on the theory that if you don't play, you can't possibly win. Just don't bet your future on it. That's all. Krizak's House, subject to my discussion right now. Krizak's House Family Restaurant, proud to be a business that serves the area with the finest in dining and takeout services. Grateful for all of you who have supported them through the many years. And they look forward to serving you now. Every day is takeout day at Krizak's. Today from 11 to 7, Friday and Saturday 11 to 8. Krizak's House Family Restaurant, corner of Cass in Michigan on Bay City's south side. For takeouts or for reservations for parties and events or just to come in and visit, you can give them a call at 894-5531 or stop in and have your lunch or dinner at Krizak's or your breakfast and enjoy that great family restaurant. We'll be back to close out the Art Lewis Show right after this.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
Clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
All the risk of loss.
Alejandro Mayorkas, I went to school with a guy. He came up with the wildest fake stories every Monday about what he did over the weekend. They were easily refuted. He was not very smart, but he had a gift of gab. And that's what I think Alejandro is. I don't think he's that smart, but I do think that he just has a gift of BSing people, and by now he's pretty good at it.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for this Thursday. We'll be back with you tomorrow, Friday, with lots more. Stick around for Focus. We're going to look at Rocket Grab Plus on Focus, tell you what's in the Rocket Grab Plus store for you. Before that, news from CBS, the national and international report, and, of course, the local report. Michael Perch will bring you up to date on the region and the states.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Breaking news from the Buffalo Bills regarding safety Damar Hamlin, critically injured during Monday night's game. Correspondent Jim Krasula.
In a written statement from the Buffalo Bills, doctors caring for
University of Cincinnati Medical Center say he has shown, quote, remarkable improvement over the past 24 hours. While he remains in critical condition, the doctors say he appears to be what they call neurologically intact. Doctors also say Hamlin's lungs continue to heal and he is making steady progress.
Now to Northern California. Crews removing a fallen tree in Santa Rosa as a deadly storm lashes the state. A toddler was killed when a tree fell onto the family's mobile home in Sonoma County. A 19-year-old driver died in Solano County when her car hydroplaned and hit a utility pole. San Francisco Mayor London Breed.
We see the rainfall is coming, and it's not letting up anytime soon. We can expect mudslides and a number of other issues.
On Capitol Hill, Kevin McCarthy playing a game of let's make a deal after his bid to become Speaker was voted down 6 times. Correspondent Robert Costa.
He has been offering concessions. What happened last night were a series of late-night meetings inside the Capitol on the second floor. McCarthy gathered his critics, and he said to them, look, what do you really want? And they said, we want plum committee seats. He said, you got it. And they're just trying to sketch out the details of an agreement.
The House reconvenes in an hour. Officials in Kyiv are skeptical after Vladimir Putin ordered Moscow 6-hour ceasefire this weekend for the Russian Orthodox Christmas holiday. An advisor to Ukraine's president calls it a cynical trap. A pope held a funeral for another pope for the first time in centuries today. Pope Francis memorializing Benedict XVI at St. Peter's Basilica. CBS's Chris Livesay.
So there were some subtle differences when it came to the ceremonial side of things. When it came to the visual side of things, you didn't see all of the heads of state that would normally descend upon Rome for the death of a sitting pope. There was no President Joe Biden here, just like there weren't presidents and kings and queens from elsewhere.
95. New read on weekly unemployment sign-ups. Bank rates, Mark Hamrick.
New claims came in lower than expected at a seasonally adjusted 204,000, marking a decline of 19,000. Both new claims, a proxy for fresh job loss, and continuing jobless claims remain below year-ago levels.
Monthly jobs reports out tomorrow. Dow down 378. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner renting or leasing, you can save a ton of money and own a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 888-74-STEEL and get a quote today.
So perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. And it's true, the typical family switching to MediShare saves $500 or more a month, which is obviously huge for a lot of people. But what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. Double. There are 400,000 members. They've shared over $4 billion in medical bills, and it really is a great community, too. People encourage and pray for each other. And here's the thing. If you join MediShare Complete right now, they'll waive your new member fees, and you'll save an additional 10% off all of 2023. And 10% off every month of next year, but it's a very limited time offer. You have to sign up before December 31st. Great savings, great health care. Find out more. Call now. 877-64-BIBLE. That's 877-64-BIBLE. 877-64-BIBLE.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
This message is for the guy who isn't perfect in the bedroom, but who is. Maybe the issue is getting it up, or keeping it up, or maybe it's finished. If any of these issues sound familiar to you, don't sweat it. HIMS can help by providing access to effective, affordable treatments for ED and other men's issues. Go to 4hims.com for a free online assessment, and if appropriate, a licensed medical provider will prescribe the treatment best for you, all from the comfort of your home. And the medication is shipped free to your door in discreet packaging. Plus, HIMS gives you unlimited follow-up visits with medical providers. Perfect in the bedroom every time. But with HIMS, you can get a lot closer than before. And chances are your partner will agree.
To start your free assessment today, go to 4hims.com/perfect. That's 4hims.com/perfect for your free assessment. FORHIMS.com/PERFECT.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 36 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike.
The Sheriff's Department is looking for the driver in a 31-year-old hit-and-run cold case, hoping they will come forward. According to Sheriff Myron Green, on the evening of December 12, 1991, Gregory McRoberts left his home on his bicycle on his way to his disabled vehicle on South Meridian Road. His body was found January 4th, 1992, and it believed he had been hit by a car. No suspects were found. But in 2005, McRoberts' parents received a letter from someone claiming to be the driver of the vehicle. In the letter, the writer expresses remorse and indicates they had spoken with an attorney who advised them to move forward as the statute of limitations had expired. Sheriff Green is asking the driver to come forward, stating that McRoberts' family are looking for closure and willing to offer forgiveness. Anyone with information on this or any other unsolved case is asked to call 989-839-4609. An Alma man charged with the shooting at police more than 18 months ago is headed to trial. Moreno faces 18 charges, including 3 counts of attempted murder. In October 2021, Moreno allegedly shot at police outside the Alma Police Department, continuing to shoot at police as they chased him west on Superior Street. Police returned fire, wounding Moreno, and he was arrested near the campus of Alma College. He's charged as an habitual offender on multiple felonies while incarcerated, attempted to assault a prison employee for which he received more charges. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
AgroLiquid is precision crop nutrition. That means being committed to product performance, to research and field testing, and to superior agronomics. Most of all, AgroLiquid is committed to delivering precisely the right nutrition in the right way, including seed-safe planter plus side dress applications and foliar applications with low burn risk. AgroLiquid. Expect more. Find a retailer at agroliquid.com. Precision crop nutrition pays. And AgroLiquid has precisely what it takes to help you succeed. The right products plus the right expertise to give you guidance based on your soils, your fields, and your goals. While our clean, seed-safe formulations and lower application rates make planter fertile. AgroLiquid. Apply less. Expect more. Find a retailer at agroliquid.com.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. Michigan Senator Debbie Stabenow has announced she will not run for a 5th term in 2024. Her surprise announcement, a critical battleground state. Democrats will try to find a candidate with Stabenow's broad support, and Republicans say they will aggressively target the open seat. The 72-year-old Stabenow was first elected in the year 2000. She says in a statement she's been inspired by a new generation of leaders and has decided to pass the torch in the U.S. Senate. Stabenow's impending retirement turns Michigan's next Senate race into one of the most competitive in the country, but only one Michigan Republican has held a Senate seat in the past 40 years. A couple of divers explored a shipwreck in Lake Charlevoix that was rumored to have ties to a famous gangster. Here's Michigan News Network's Beth Fisher.
Diver and underwater photographer Chris Roxburgh went diving to explore the sunken Kuka just 50 feet underwater in the lake. He says the speakeasy with a bar and a to be supplied by Al Capone.
And there's some artifacts in there. There's a couple like old broken jugs and just various things. Not a lot because it's been looted over the years. It's so shallow. And you could actually take things off shipwrecks before 1987.
Roxburgh says the speakeasy was shut down by police and put up for auction in 1931. A local church bought it, and he says it mysteriously sank 2 weeks later. Beth Fisher, Michigan News Network.
Just like in Washington, D.C., there could be a battle brewing over who becomes House Speaker in Lansing. WLNS reports that Democrat Representative Joe Tate of Detroit is expected to be elected the new Speaker, but says Detroit Democrat Representative Karen Whitsett could vote against Tate. The Democrats have 56 votes, but Tate needs every one to be elected the first African-American Speaker. House Republicans are reportedly trying to convince Whitsett to defect. WSGW News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast.
Few scattered areas of rain and snow mixing at times here for today, with cloudy sky conditions and temperatures holding rather steady. Low southwest winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, a slight chance for snow, cloudy and low near 32. By Friday, mostly cloudy skies, high 36 degrees. And on Saturday, mostly sunny with a high around 34. Sunday, partial sunshine develops, high 36 degrees. Then on Monday, mostly cloudy, high around 39. Tuesday, cloudy, high of 38 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 36.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is presented by RoofMax. That's RoofMax with 2 X's.
That's right, and you can find out more about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. RoofMax with 2 X's. Welcome to another edition of Focus, and today we're going to focus on RocketGrabPlus.com. I'll tell you what's available. If you are not familiar with Rocket Grab Plus, it is the new version of Rocket Grab, which used to be on. If you were an old Rocket Grab subscriber, but you did not subscribe to Rocket Grab Plus, you need to, because the old list is gone. And what happens, you go to rocketgrabplus.com, you spell out Plus, and sign up. It costs you nothing, absolutely nothing to sign up. You'll get notices when there are new items on Rocket Grab that you can save at least 50% on. And then you choose. You want to buy it or you don't want to buy it. And it's instantaneous. You pay with a credit card, you download the certificates, and you're all set. It's that easy. So let's give you an idea of some of the things in the Rocket Grab store. And you can see all of these online at rocketgrabplus.com. We begin with the most recent offer. It says half off of a family 4-pack of 24-ounce bubble teas from Bubble Tea Brew House. It's a $24 package for only $12. Bubble Tea Brew House is located at 4370 Bay Road in Saginaw. Bubble Tea Brew House has hundreds of flavor combinations. You pick it, you get it, from fruit flavors, lemonades, coffee, Sprite, club sodas, and more. And this certificate is good through December 7th of this year, 2023. Again, it's a family 4-pack, 24-ounce bubble teas from Bubble Tea Brew House, $24 value for only $12. That's just an example. Let's talk about your automobile. How about a $100 certificate for only $50 for a full synthetic oil change, plus free standard wiper blades and lots more at Third Generation Auto in Bay City. Now, they're a European auto specialist, and this deal includes a full synthetic oil change up to 5 quarts, plus a free pair of wiper blades. It also includes a 35-point inspection, a complete lube, filter, and all fluids topped off. 3 generations of quality service. That's where the name Third Gen Tire and Service Center comes from. Over 80 years of combined experience, ASE certified, Repair Pal certified, Auto Value preferred partner. You can like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram and on Google. And they're located next to O'Connor's Auto Outlet. Again, a $100 gift certificate for only $50. Treat your car like it needs to be treated. One of the most growing sports in America is axe throwing. Even on television the other day, I saw a professional axe throwing tournament. 1 hour of axe throwing for a group of 4, 10 years old and up, or 1 hour for a group of 4 for video archery at Daylight Outfitter in Midland. It's an $80 value. You only pay $40. You get 1 hour of axe throwing for your group of 4, 10 and up, or as I mentioned, 1 hour for a group of 4 for video archery. Daylight Outfitter is a local archery pro shop and axe throwing venue. Daylight Outfitters opened its doors in September of 2020 as a small shop. They're constantly trying to get more diversified product lines. They have a knowledgeable staff with the products they carry and sell, and a special emphasis on customer service. They're a BYOB, no glass bottles, no drinking under 21, axe throwing minimum age 10 years, and closed-toe shoes are required for axe throwing, but no minimum age for the archery lane. Be sure to follow them on Facebook and Instagram for up-to-date events and special promotions. So again, 1 hour of axe throwing for a group of 4, 10 years old and up, or 1 hour for a group of 4 for video archery, any age. $80 value for only $40. A wonderful deal. There is a business on Tittabawassee Road in Saginaw called Style Encore. They buy and sell gently used women's and casual business clothing and shoes and handbags and accessories. They have a certificate for you online right now. It's a $40 certificate for only $20 at Rocket Grab Plus. They have all the hottest name brands at up to 90% less than regular retail. Again, a $40 gift certificate for $20 to Style Encore in Saginaw. We're going to take a break, come back. Lots more deals to talk about here on Focus.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. As 2022 wrapped, 80% of Americans set New Year financial resolutions, a Bank of America survey found. More than 60% set savings goals. However, 3 in 4 expect inflation to impact their ability to save toward their resolutions. Here's Mary Hines Drosch, Head of Consumer and Small Business Products at Bank of America, sharing budgeting tools you need to succeed in 2023.
This new year, people are prioritizing financial wellness and increasing their savings. Setting a realistic spending plan and utilizing can help keep your spending goals on track. Explore options offered by your bank, like digital spending trackers and automatic savings tools, to take the guesswork out of your financial plan. And remember to revisit your budget and update it whenever your financial situation or priorities change throughout the year.
Learn more at bettermoneyhabits.com.
At Staples, you can count on every project being print perfect, guaranteed.
I need presentations and brochures printed, and they have to be perfect.
Your bounded presentations, brochures with the finest folds, and more will be done right every time. That's our Print Big promise. Now at Staples, get $10 off your document printing and marketing materials order of $50 or more. Backed by a store bonus. Try Staples and see the difference. Ends 2/11. Rewards members only. Bonus must be redeemed in store. See staples.com/stores/big for details.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible end-of-the-year sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. 74 Steel.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building at end of the year savings. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. That's AUDACY.
The Big Ten champion Michigan Wolverines.
Turns and hands it to Donovan Edwards, who goes flea flicker, firing deep down the middle, wide open, Monty Bell! Touchdown, Wolverines! It's off his hands and it's intercepted. Makari Page with the interception right in front of the Ohio State bench. One man to beat. He cuts inside. He's in the clear. Touchdown, Donovan Edwards.
The Michigan Wolverines' drive for a national championship fell short, but it was still a season to remember. An undefeated regular season, a win against the rival Buckeyes in their own backyard, a second straight back-to-back trips to the college football playoffs. And in 8 months, we plan on doing this all over again by bringing you another action-packed season of Michigan football right here on WSGW. We'd like to once again thank our sponsors who brought you Michigan football this year: Lingo Equipment Company, Schaefer and Beer Line Ram Truck and Frankenmuth, Zimomatic Irrigation Solutions, North Bloomfield Properties, and Wolfiles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. Thank you again for listening to another championship season of Michigan Wolverines football on WSGW.
Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we're back with you here on Focus, looking at RocketCrabPlus.com. A couple of offers from Salon Blue in Mount Pleasant. Here is a gel manicure and Salon Blue pedicure for only $60. It's a $120 value. And walk-ins are not available. You will have to call them and book the appointment. Salon Blue is a full salon, spa, and boutique. You leave happy and feeling like new. They have talented and well-trained team, whether you're a distinguished connoisseur or somewhere in between. They have dedicated professionals ready to help. All of their service providers are fully licensed through the state of Michigan. Again, a gel manicure and Salon Blue gel pedicure, a $120 value for only $60. Also from Salon Blue is a shampoo, cut, and deep condition, and this is an $80 value for only $40. Let's get ready for some adventure this year. $21 for a $42 value for an adventure at Frankenmuth Aerial Park for one person, a 2-hour session. Again, a $42 value for only $21. The Frankenmuth Aerial Park wants to welcome you to the trees. Admission is for a 2-hour session, depending on the climber and the trails chosen. You can generally complete 2 to 4 trails during this 2-hour climbing session. It includes a combination of rope course and zip lines for family entertainment. Participants fly through the air, swing through the trees, and challenge themselves on an aerial obstacle course. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, there is a course level for you. And the certificate is good weekdays or weekend. And if you go to their website, you get more details. But again, it is a $42 value for only $21 at the Frankenmuth Aerial Park. And if you want to have some more fun, half off a family fun package to Kokomo's Family Fun Center. Normally, this is a $100 value. It's yours for $50, and it includes a game card with $62.50 in credits, a 12-inch topping pizza, 2 12-inch single-topping pizzas, and 2 sodas, and 5 attractions. Kokomo's is the ultimate family fun center for kids and adults. Their wide variety of activities is fun for all ages. Enjoy time with your family in a clean and friendly atmosphere, from go-karts to mini golf. Plenty of activities to choose from, no matter your age. They also have quick service meals and drinks at the Coco Cafe, so hunger won't take you away from the fun. A $100 certificate, again, it is only $50. Maybe you want to bulk up or get in better shape. How about a 1-year membership? And this is a 1-year membership to the 120 Fitness Club. It's $342 value for only $171 for the entire year. And you get a chance to check out Old Town Saginaw's only gym. So there it is, a full year's membership to the gym. All Seasons Heating and Cooling is offering half off a furnace tune-up from All Seasons Heating and Cooling. It's a $120 value. It is yours for only $60. Lots more on the website, rocketgrabplus.com, including a $100 gift certificate for only $50 to West Side Decorating Center, the sponsor of the Art Lewis Show. Stop into West Side Decorating, 5789 in State Street. See their newly expanded showroom and take your $100 gift certificate, which you bought for only $50 on rocketgrabplus.com. So there you have it, just some of the items. There are a few more, so go online and you can actually visit and see what all the items are waiting for you at rocketgrabplus.com. We'll be back to close out after these notes.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with